Hello YouTube, how's it going? I hope you're doing all. I hope you all are doing well. I kind of have nothing really to say this today in terms of videos, so I'm kind of just gonna make this gonna totally be unscripted and just kind of talk to the camera kind of day, just like with the rest of my videos. Um, I thought I'd come to you of another travel story. I just did one a couple days ago called where I talked about a bizarre case of jet lag on a 5-hour flight. 5 hours instead of 7 hours. Correction, it was actually 5 hours. So, anyway, I I love small town America personally. I think, for one, small town America is very criminally underrated. It's it's a place and a culture that is oftenly forgotten. And when you think of America, maybe your mind goes to places like New York, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Chicago, Phoenix, Arizona. But your mind never, when you think of America, when your mind first thinks of America, you never just immediately think of, the smaller, more underrated towns in America. And that's kind of a shame, because small town America is absolutely amazing. I love small town America personally. Where did my love for small town America begin, you might ask? Well, again, a small town in California called Crescent City. Exactly what I'm talking about, and that's exactly what I want to talk about right now. Crescent City, California is located all the way in Northern California, the northest. I don't think that's even a word, but like the most northern, farther. What the heck am I saying? The northernmost county in California. So basically, imagine this: you're standing on the beach in San Diego, and like if you stand on the beach in San Diego, Crescent City, if you look at a map and draw a line from San Diego all the way up the coast to all the way up to Northern California, you'll hit Crescent City, a small town smack dab in the middle of nowhere in California, Northern California, the farthest possible county in Northern California, not far from the Oregon border. Let me just tell you, if you go to Crescent City, keep in mind, pack prepared. You are in the middle of nowhere. The closest city to you would be Bend, Oregon. And keep in mind, Bend is a small town too. It's not a big city either. So technically, your closest option is San Francisco, which I found out the hard way is about 6 to 7 hours down the beach from Crescent City. So if you do end up going to Crescent City, keep in mind, pack prepared, because God forbid something goes wrong, you're not help is very far away. It's a place that will shock you upon first impression. If you're traveling into Crescent City from Crater Lake, like what I did 2 years ago. So 2 years ago, I drove from Bend, Oregon to Crater Lake, from Crater Lake all the way to Crescent City. And for about 100% of that drive, was in the smack dab middle of the Northern Northern California forest. So, in smack dab in the middle of the Redwood National Forest. One of the thickest, most dense, most isolated pieces of land I've come across in my 13 years of travel. The Redwood National Forest and the Oregon Northern California forest, that whole area is completely covered in trees for miles and miles on end. And as you're driving, you're left with this sense of paranoia, thinking, is this ever going to end? Like, is this all there is? This is just trees? That's what I was thinking. In fact, you're so thick and deep into the forest, your Wi-Fi reception will go out. You'll have, I personally found this out. When you're that deep into the forest, when you get deep and as you get deeper and deeper into the forest, you'll lose you'll lose reception. All form of like any form of outside communication goes down. You're so far away from any signal that your cell range, there's no cell range. So if you want to use Wi-Fi, forget it. It's fried. You have to trust your instincts and be smart. And once you so when you're driving into Crescent City, this is the shocking part because Crescent City is a beach town. It's really really weird. Here's why. You're driving for miles and miles, hours and hours on end, through the dead middle of the forest, seemingly forever, and then bam, the ocean appears out of what looks like a desert of trees, just void of any other form of topography or scenery. But then bam, the ocean prevails before your eyes like a mirage, seemingly out of nowhere. And that's Crescent City. You're welcome. I recommend going to the chart. Once you make it into downtown Crescent City, I recommend checking out the chart room. It's really really cool. It's located on this pier that stretches out into the water, and I walked outside of that restaurant one night, and I stood there on the pier thinking, "Holy crap! I am extremely far away from my life." That's true. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, and I live in this big city where every road in the city leads somewhere. It always ends up going somewhere. Like, you're never gonna get lost in the city. You'll always be going somewhere. I'm used to roads being out in a grid pattern. Roads leading to another road, and roads leading everywhere. Crescent City was my first time. It was the first time I ever realized, holy crap, I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm miles from civilization. I'm extremely far away. I'm in a tiny town. Oh my gosh, like, it was amazing. I felt like I felt like I found a totally different side of America that I had never seen before. It was a really cool experience, personally. So, hope you enjoyed this little sit down, totally unscripted, talk to the camera, travel story video. I highly suggest checking out Crescent City. There's so much more about it I could have talked about, but whenever I want to make these videos short, so this makes it easier to upload. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, comment. See you guys later.